Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. We ask you to review, my friends. Please give us that 5-star review wherever you subscribe, whether it be Apple, Spotify, you know the drill, wherever you get your favorite podcast. And now, welcome. We are on episode 86.
Nice. Very nice. Episode 86. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Actually, awake for a change on a Monday morning because we record this on Monday. It'll come out on Wednesday. So welcome aboard, everybody.
You didn't stay up too late watching all the basketball action and watching all the hockey. I mean, I literally could have spent noon to midnight, Saturday and Sunday in front of my TV. And I watched several games. But at one point yesterday, I'm like, I have got to get up or I will be on this couch all damn day. So I went out and I ran some shopping errands and did some other stuff. So yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
I am not a good sports person. My team is out. I haven't watched more than 15, 20 minutes of any basketball game. I'm the guy with the sourpuss look going, I'm not watching any of these damn games. None of my teams are in. Nothing to get excited about here.
Right. And I know you had a tiny bit of excitement about Orlando because that's obviously your literal hometown team. I mean, it's right there. And I'm sorry, I'm they're playing my Cleveland Cavaliers, so we're going to be on different sides on this one. But so it's good that you don't care that much because seems like Cleveland is going to win that opening series for sure. So
well, I did fill out my bracket, because you can win.
I saw that.
You can win a bunch of money from NBA. So I said, hey, I'll take a shot at it anyway. What do I got to lose? It took me 10 minutes to fill it out.
It's kind of like they finally learned their lesson from all of this March Madness, all the college stuff, right? It's like, hey, if the college boys can have a bracket, we could do the same. And isn't that, I mean, it's funny to me how fast sports leagues like the NFL, football, baseball, basketball, all went from, oh no, oh, gambling, oh my God, oh no, we can't even have a team in Las Vegas with all the gambling there. And now they're like all over it. Because, of course, it makes a lot of money, I'm sure. So
it is going to be a pretty hard bracket to win the whole thing. Sure. Because if I don't know if you've played yet or not, but when you pick your team, on each game, once they go on and you continue to pick, who you think will win the next bracket, so on and so on, all the way to the championship. But you're also, not only are you picking the bracket, but you're also picking how many games you think it'll take for the series to end.
And
then the final Jeopardy question is, what'll be the final score of the final game?
And that's what it takes to win the million.
Yeah, you need to say not the final score, but what the score will be between the two teams at the end of the final game.
You mean the total?
Yes, the total points.
Seriously. And that's what it takes to win the $1 million. That's asking like.
Yeah, but you can buy a ticket to win the Mega Million and you probably have just as much of a chance.
Good point. I hadn't thought of that.
And,
wait, there's more.
And the ticket didn't cost me $2. It was free to play. With a chance to win $1 million.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have to look into it. That's a real good gotcha there at the end, picking the total of the final. If it was like 110 to 115 or something, or 225. Okay, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. All
so
right.
yeah, so I think
I guess I'm gonna have to go find this bracket and fill one out just for fun.
I said, what do I got to lose?
Exactly.
I got more to win than to lose.
Well, you have zero to lose. So anything that you might possibly win, no matter how remote the possibility is, yes, you're right. The odds, I'm not going to say the odds are in your favor. The money is in your favor because it costs you nothing.
Yeah. So what do I got? Hey, took me like 10 minutes to fill it out.
I was going to say, except for the 10 minutes it took you to fill out the bracket that you could have been out, I don't know, delivering for DoorDash or something and making some money. Not that you would do that, but I'm just saying. Yeah.
How's that going?
Cool.
You still doing that? You were doing some.
Oh yeah. So yours truly. Yeah. In fact, that was one of the ways I killed some time yesterday. Instead of being planted on the couch like a couch potato, went out and did a little door. It's just fun and it gets me out of the house and it makes a few bucks. So yes, I am a DoorDasher. It's kind of cool.
If you don't mind me asking, how many hours did you spend and what was your total you made?
So yesterday, I could tell you that exactly because DoorDash I give them credit. They really have a very good app which tracks your hours, it doesn't track miles. It tracks hours, total hours that you're working, total hours that you're actually on a run. Because, you might have to go and sit and wait for a call and all of that. So anyway, long story short, yesterday, let's look it up. Yesterday was deposit. Okay, where do I find yesterday? Come on. How many days did I deliver? In 3 days last week. So I literally only did Saturday, Sunday, took the whole week off, and then again yesterday. So Saturday, April 20th, April 21st. There you go. So Saturday and Sunday. I made a total of $161 for an active time. Well, it says active time, 5 hours, 31 minutes. Dash time, which means signed into the app, 7 hours and 6 minutes. So you see there, it's always, the actual dashing is always a little less. So, but all right, let's do the math. If I did, let's say 161 divided by 5.5 real hours of dashing, right? So if we do that math, we do 161 divided by 5.5. No, I didn't make $30 an hour. There's no way I made $29 an hour. But anyway, it's about $25 an hour.
But you buy your own gas too, though, right?
Buy your own gas. You buy your own gas. It's totally on you. Yes. There's a couple of Facebook groups of DoorDash drivers. Most of them will say if total for the day, like because I have to drive from my house to the first restaurant and then deliver. And then I have to, wherever that delivery is, I have to drive back to the other restaurant and then a delivery and then back. So, there's a couple of places in town that have, around the mall, there's a lot of restaurants around the mall. So if I'm not doing anything, I'll usually just drive to the mall and find a shady spot to park and, read my emails or whatever, and then wait for the next job to come. So long story short, on the DoorDash Facebook groups, most people say you got to do better than $1 a mile, $1 a mile for the day. And I do. I mean, with all driving to and from and on the way and, everything, I'll probably in the course of a day, 50 or 60 miles total, and I'll probably make 75 or $85. So I'm getting more than $1 a mile.
Now, do you have a preferred, because is it like when you're driving Uber, I know you can pick your, I don't want to pick this person. It wants to go from here to here. And I'm just not interested. Oh, I'm real close to this restaurant. I can pick this one up right now. And I'm only taking it down the road. So I think I'll grab this and then boom, I grab it. So you can grab whatever you want and
exactly. Because it's totally a gig thing, right? I don't work for them. They just pay me based on the jobs I do. It's not like employee. I'm not an employee in any way, shape, or form. That makes it cheap for them and easy for me. Yes, I can. The app will come up And it's like, here's your late, and they call them offers. It's not a job, it's an offer. If you'd like to do this, we're offering it to you. So you can look at it, and typically DoorDash will pay you tiny money, like $2, $2.50 per run. And then you can see the DoorDash payment, and you can see the tip that the person getting the delivery is going to give you, right? So you can look at that and go, and then it shows where you're picking it up and how many miles to the delivery and how much the total is. So yes, if I'm sitting at my house and somebody says, oh, we want you to go to McDonald's and pick up a burger and deliver it, and you'll earn $3.75, which basically means DoorDash is giving me $2 and the person getting it is giving me a $1.50 or $2. I can look at that and go, no. Decline. Now,
well, that's cool.
They incentivize you to take as many as possible because they want you. They can't enforce it, but they say you'll get, quote, higher paying jobs offers. You'll get higher paying offers if your acceptance rate is like over 80% or something like that. So yeah, so I take a lot of them, but if I see like you said, if I see a McDonald's or a Burger King offer and it's $4 and it's a long drive, no, thank you. I'll decline that.
No, final question. Have you ever taken fries out of the bag?
No, I have not. I have not taken any food at any. No, I am being 100% truthful with that. I would, yeah. Now, there have been times where if I go into a local Mexican restaurant, I'll always say something like, oh, if you happen to have any spare chips sitting around, I'll be glad to, take a few for your driver. And I have received little bags of chips occasionally, specifically for me, which is nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Do you prefer, because at one time, I know when we were doing the podcast, like maybe 6 months ago, you were doing Domino's pizza delivery. Do you prefer this over Domino's?
You'll make more money with Domino's, but you work for them. It's a scheduled shift. So if you are working for Domino's on a Monday and your shift is from noon to 7 or noon to 8 or whatever, you're going to be either delivering pizza, or if you're not, you're sitting in the restaurant bored out of your mind, probably sweeping the floor or doing dishes or something stupid like that. So but of course, because you're scheduled time, you're going to make more money. The DoorDash thing I really like. It's like, oh, it's Saturday afternoon. I'm kind of bored with this basketball game. Let me go on the app and see if there's any jobs to be done. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll go out and work for a few hours, see what happens. So
that's
yes,
kind of cool. Man. Yeah.
Convenience versus money.
I think if I like to drive better, which when I was younger, I did, I think it'd be fun. But as much as I like to drive, I said, I'll just sit home and make my Social Security and do my little podcast once a week.
Right. We're making so much money with this podcast. It's not important anyway. So
we just throw money out the window nowadays.
So there's my DoorDash, Domino's, pizza delivery, whatever driver story. And it all started, by the way, just to put a bow on it, when I was living in Sarasota 3, 4, 5 years ago. And when the world closed, from that disease that we all were supposed to be so afraid of, everything pretty much shut down, but they actually continued to deliver food. And I worked for Bite Squad for a while. But I actually did that for almost a year and a half. And that was kind of a hybrid thing. You sort of worked for them, you sort of didn't, I think they were just figuring out the whole business model back then, but it was, same thing.
I think I would rather deliver food than deliver people, like with Uber or, whatever they call it. There's another one out there too.
Lyft.
Yeah. Lyft.
I think so too, because you see some real horror stories about delivering people. I mean, putting 3 or 4 drunks in the back of your car, it just doesn't sound like a good time.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Although I
there.
guess
I
you
mean,
can get a $50. I guess you can charge them $50 clean fee if they throw up in your car.
I think so. There's a whole. There are. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of rules and regulations about that, but it still doesn't. It still doesn't look like fun, and it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it's as profitable.
Yeah, you never have.
And
food
here in a
talk back to
college
you.
town, oh my gosh, what's that?
You never have food talk back to you either.
Food
You
never talks back. Food does not complain.
Food goes, hey, I think there's a shorter way. You're not going the right way.
Right. I just, it comes in on the app. I say accept. It says, here's the restaurant, drive here, walk in. I've never had a bad, I shouldn't say bad. I've never had a bad experience with the restaurants. They're all super nice. And believe me, these places I'm in a college town. So, Chipotle on a Friday night, it's wall to wall. And, they're scurrying and bringing out bags of stuff because there's people coming in and picking up. And it's like, oh my God, it's like, I'm guessing nowadays restaurants like Chipotle, like, I don't know, some other ones, it's probably half their business now. The carry out, takeout, delivery business is huge for some of these places.
Now, I have a friend, I haven't talked to them lately, but like maybe 6 months, a year ago, their restaurant was closed for lunch because, you got to hire waitresses and this and that and this. But the kitchen was open and they did like DoorDash and Bite Squad and all that. So they were open for lunch for the delivery services. But if you wanted to go in, they were closed.
That sounds like genius to me.
And they said they made more money doing that than being open for lunch. Now I believe they're open for lunch again, though. But back then they said they made more money just worrying about getting deliveries out. They only had to have, the chef there.
Yep.
Who basically was,
one person to package it up, one person to bag it up and hand it to the drivers when they come in. Yep. Yeah. And there are some restaurants that are so busy that they have a specific person for a lot of them. Next time you go into a restaurant, just look around in the front entranceway because so many places now have put up a special rack, a warming rack or just a shelf or something. And it'll say, delivery pickups here, and then you look at the ticket and you find yours and you take it. So I always tell the people at the restaurant.
The only thing I wonder, how many times does John Moe or, somebody walk in and go, well, there's a big bag of food. I mean, just grab and go. It happens.
Some restaurants, and it was a little inexpensive Chinese takeout place that I've not been in before. I was in yesterday, and the lady says, "Can I see? Show me the app," because they know. Most restaurants know when they see a guy walk in. When I walk in and I have my phone in my hand and I'm looking at the phone, they're already thinking, "Oh, he's picking up for somebody." But some of them will say, yeah, can I, show me the order, show me the name. And I'm like, here you are, here it is. Oh, very good. Here's your food. Thank you very much.
It's probably somebody who's been screwed more than a couple of times.
Probably.
So,
awesome. Well, there you go.
Back to the basketball.
That's our delivery story.
So what was the best game of the weekend?
Well, I enjoyed Cleveland beating Orlando. That was fun.
How many games did they do that now? They've done that once, twice. Where are we at?
Well, of course, as we record this, it's a Monday, and I think the second game of the Cleveland Orlando series is today, this Monday, as we record it. So you'll probably as you listen to this podcast on Wednesday, of course, you'll be a couple more games into everything. But this is the first round. I mean, you got the 1 seed playing the 8 seed. You got now New Orleans actually played as the 8 seed or 7 seed or whatever. New Orleans was in it till the very end against Oklahoma City last night, but Oklahoma City won it by 2 points in the last 5 seconds or something like that. That was the only really exciting game I saw. Most of the rest of them were like, yeah, they're going to be a blowout. So. Yeah, but I enjoyed the Cleveland game. It was good. It was in Cleveland. So there you go.
While you were watching basketball, I did watch one game from beginning to end. And the winner, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
I knew I was going to get that look from Bill Stevens.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the raised eyebrow, folks. You're getting the raised eyebrow. So what were you watching, like some 30 for 30 thing on ESPN, some flashback or something?
Nope.
Nope.
It was live sports.
Live. I don't think it was live with Michael Jordan. Well, I mean, it could have been. He's still alive, but
It was.
Really? Tell us more.
And in fact, he hugged his driver and congratulated him for winning in Talladega. What? The Talladega 500.
Talladega. Oh.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan owns a team?
Owns a race team. I think they have 2 drivers, maybe 3, but I know they have 2 drivers on the team. Tyler Reddick won Tyler Reddick won yesterday in Talladega. Michael Jordan actually was with the wife and the children, took the young son and was holding the son and said, because they had it on TV even, you want to go see your dad in the winner's circle? Yeah. And so Michael Jordan carries his kid all the way to the winner's circle to congratulate his driver, Tyler Reddick. It was pretty cool seeing Michael Jordan, and the family and grabbing the kid and taking the kid to the, the winner's circle.
Well, that's very cool. I had no idea Jordan was into racing, that he had a team.
Yeah. You know who else is part owner, not of that team, but another team? Pitbull.
Pitbull is part owner of a NASCAR team.
Yep.
Wow. Now I would think, being from Miami, he would be more of the Formula One guy, but.
And one of his drivers is actually a Florida boy from our neck of the old woods, Alva. Ross Chastain, the watermelon guy who smashes a watermelon because his family are watermelon farmers. So whenever he wins a race, he takes a watermelon, smashes it right there on the finish line.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And then his other driver is Daniel Suarez from Mexico.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So see, there's things in NASCAR that you're missing that you had no idea that was going on.
Apparently so.
Now, Michael Jordan is not at every race, but every now and again you'll see him, around the boys and, around his team. And it was neat that he was there for the win. So that was cool.
Well, is he still part owner of the basketball team in Charlotte too?
I don't know if he is or not. He may have sold that. I'm not sure.
He might have sold that. Yeah. That's it. Good for him though. I mean, that's super cool. I mean, it's I mean, he's got the money. Let's face it. Money is not a problem when you're Michael Jordan. Money is. And then of
course, Denny Hamlin, who also still races, but doesn't race for his own team, is part owner in that organization too.
Cool. Very cool.
See, I give you a little NASCAR knowledge this morning.
I appreciate that. I'm still not going to say I'm a big fan. I will watch it occasionally, very rarely from flag to flag, from start to finish, but now and then.
It was Talladega. It was a good race. The Infinity race on Saturday was much better in Talladega, but the Cup race was pretty cool too. Yeah, that's
okay.
That's like the medium cars. You have truck races. You have, the Infinity Series, which is a little bit, more horsepower. Then you have the Cup, that's the big boys of NASCAR.
See, I know the difference between a truck and a car, but I didn't know there were different levels of car racing, I guess.
Yes.
I'm kind of like minor league baseball, major league baseball, I suppose, right?
And then, of course, what's his name? Muniz, or the guy that was in Malcolm in the Middle?
I don't know.
Yeah, he races.
I could look it up.
Yeah, he races in the ARCA series, which is the bottom tier of NASCAR. And those are some good races too.
Who knew?
So, see, I'm giving you a little NASCAR education this morning.
NASCAR education. Okay. There you go. Thank you for that.
Now you were watching sports all weekend. I told you my team was out. So I said, frick this, I'm moving on. So something else I watched that I don't even want to admit this, but let's just say it brought back a few of my high school days.
Oh dear. Which was?
I watched it. It debuted on Hulu. It debuted on 420.
On 420. Okay.
Believe it or not, folks, while Bill was watching sports this weekend, I think I watched like 5 or 6 episodes of High Hopes on Hulu.
High Hopes on Hulu.
And,
3 H's.
and what it is a cannabis store in LA.
Of course.
And, there's the Pawn Wars or whatever it is, where the guys.
Pawn Stars. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Pawn
guys
Stars.
come in, and they it's like a pawn store, and, they make deals and stuff like that.
Right.
Same concept, kind of like it's a corporation that owns a few, and they're trying to grow, into more. So they're growing their business, and it's all about cannabis. And
are you saying their business is growing like a weed? Go ahead.
Yeah. It's growing like a weed. Yeah.
Like a weed.
And I never realized this either. If you have a cannabis store,
right,
the cannabis companies want to come in and, of course, gets shelf space like they do
shelf
in
space. Yeah.
Publix or anywhere else,
right.
Dixie. So they come in with their different cannabises, and some of their star employees, which are pretty well stoners, they will try the cannabises and say which ones they think, taste the best and which one gives them the best. And by the end of the session, they're all so buzzed, they can hardly communicate in what they're doing. You're supposed to be rating these. Oh, I don't know. They were all good, man. It's like you're watching Cheech and Chong from the 70s all over again.
So what's the drama in the show? I mean, because you watch Pawn Stars. You watch Pawn Stars. It's interesting. People carry in all kinds of crazy stuff, and then they kind of try to figure out: is it real? Is it worth anything? Is it valuable? What's the drama when you're running a marijuana store?
Believe it, there's stuff going on.
I'll bet. I've been in a couple of them. Have you ever been in a legal marijuana store?
No, never have been. Not in a legal
with a friend. With a friend, I have been in, not for me, with a friend. Now it's legal. Who cares, right? With a friend. And it's an interesting kind of little boutique sort of a thing. And the ones I've been in here in Florida, it's cash. It's a cash business because credit card companies don't want to deal with that. Unless things have changed in the past few years, because it's been a couple of years, when my friend was going into the cannabis stores, they always had to be carrying cash. And I was like, boy, this is like, whoo, if the crooks knew that, it's like, that would be the place to hang out. But, they have plenty of security too.
Now this was, of course, in the beginning, of course, you see the security guy sitting there.
Right.
But, the one guy who one of the owners of the store goes, yeah, we had to learn what a safe was. We got, robbed, and we said, oh, that's not going to work out very well. So we had to go buy us a safe.
No kidding. Hello. No kidding. So
have you ever watched the show Down Below? About these small little yachts, and it's about the crew that work on the yachts.
Right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know the show.
It's the same concept, only it's a cannabis store, and it's the drama and the things that go along with the people who work in the cannabis store.
Okay.
And like I said,
and how would you rate it on the entertainment scale?
Personally, myself, I rated it pretty high. I enjoyed it. I'm cackling like a little hen over here going. My wife's looking like, this is the stupidest show. Why are you watching this? And I go, it's funny. It's funny.
Okay.
It's basically like watching a modern day Cheech and Chong.
Okay. I get it.
They're not made to be comedians, but
right.
They are definitely, I would classify some of the employees as master stoners.
Whatever that means.
You know,
Master stoners.
it's like you hate to, like, you know, pigeonhole anybody into, like, well, this is the, I guess, what do I want to say? It's like, it's what you think a bunch of stoners running a cannabis store would be like.
Right.
They're high all the time.
Right.
You know, and one guy comes in and he's high. And so immediately they send him up. You can't work when you're high. Well, I'm selling this stuff, man. I'm telling you, you know. And, you know, they make him go home. They go, you can't come to work stoned. But yet they use him when the cannabis salespeople come in and want him to try the, the newest and greatest pot. Then he's like one of the stars of the show. Then, like, yeah, we need you now. We need you to come to work and get high.
Well, he's the expert. He's the expert again.
Yeah. So it's definitely a different show. The way I found out about it, I was watching, which is my favorite nighttime show. I'm watching Kimmel, and two of the stars, which are more like Beavis and Butthead, come out and, you know, tell a little bit about what the show's going to be about. It's going to be on Hulu, and it debuts on 420. And I go, oh, man,
of course it does.
These guys got their act together. So they've only laid, as of yesterday, they only laid 6 episodes. I think I've watched all but 1 or 2 of the episodes.
Okay.
Finally, my wife said, can we watch something else, please?
On the Hallmark Channel? There's no pot stores on the Hallmark Channel.
No, this was on Hulu, and she didn't care what we watched. I could have watched what. She just was tired of that one. It's not everybody's cup of tea for sure.
Right. Yeah. When you're binging that sort of thing, I get it. I do. Okay, cool. Wow. I mean, who knew? Is that the name of the store? No,
it's called,
whatever it is.
No, but the name of the show is High Hopes.
High Hopes
on Hulu.
Awesome. That's so crazy. It's probably, like you said, it's probably so stupid it's funny or whatever.
That's basically what it is. Yeah, it's like, if you were fans of Beavis and Butthead, you'd probably be a fan of this show. If you were a fan of Cheech and Chong, you'd probably be a fan of this show. Or if you're a fan of pot, you'd probably be a fan of this show.
And with that, I need some munchies right now. So we will take a break. I'm going to go refill my coffee, and we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify. Got to find some other podcast outlets because we keep pitching Apple and Spotify. There must be more. I know there are more. And you can also find us on Facebook at our Facebook page. Just do a search for BJ and Bill Podcast. And as I always say, you have to spell out the and, BJ A-N-D Bill Podcast on Facebook, where you can leave your comments, questions, or funny pictures when you were stoned. Or maybe not. The good news is, for people of our age, and when I mean our age, you and I and people of our generation, we're always saying how glad we were that there were no iPhones back then, because there's no pictures to prove anything of what happened back in the day. So I think that's a good thing. Very good thing.
We were talking about sports a little earlier.
We were, yes, a bit.
Another story that came across the wire over the weekend, which I'm like beating my head against the wall on this one. I'm like you said, and I said, neither one of us are really big time into the Olympics. I mean, we
Correct.
might watch a little bit, but we're not going to be glued to the television for the whole Olympics.
True.
I'm not joking. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know if you've heard this yet or not, but breakdancing will be featured in the Summer Olympics for the first time ever.
Breakdancing.
Now they they did
Go
show
ahead.
a couple of the contestants that will be, going, to Paris
Right.
on the breakdance team. They were pretty daggone good. I mean, they were spinning on their heads and some really weird
Sure.
monkey. But when does that? Well, obviously, this year is when it
Right. Well,
becomes
it's a
Olympic
demonstration.
sport.
You said it's a demonstration. You said it's not.
Well,
I
no, they
think.
showed a demonstration of the people that will be competing for
Oh,
Team
so you're saying
USA.
it's a real live medals will be awarded for breakdancing?
Yes.
That's not. I mean, I get it, but that now you're stretching it. Now you're stretching it a little too far because it's like, I don't really get it, but okay. You know what? Have you seen? And I might be showing off my age here. I can't remember ever seeing girls doing breakdancing. It's mostly a guy thing, kind of all the gymnastics and spinning around on your head kind of thing.
Yeah. But they had a girl, they showed a girl and they showed a guy, and they were both, like spinning and doing weird things.
Well, I remember when somebody was asking about some other sport that might be included in the Olympics. The Olympics are very definite now that it has to be something that both men and women do. They will not include something that's men only or women only. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but that sounds familiar. So, okay, well, and it's a real thing. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that. Not really. No.
I would say, though, it would probably be the sport that I would be most apt to spend at least 5-10 minutes watching compared to a lot
for
of
the
other
Summer Olympics, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to a lot of the other sports that they will be featuring in the Summer Olympics. I wonder. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't checked. I don't have the rundown. I don't know if it'd be in the summer or the winter, but I know you would be there if they were doing that pickleball stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure it would be in the summer because is tennis still an Olympic sport? I know it was for a while, and I think it still is. So yeah, it's definitely tennis is a summer Olympic sport game. Yes. And so pickleball absolutely should be there. Absolutely. And perfect sport, men and women. And you can play doubles, you can play singles, you can play all guys, all girls, whatever. Perfect.
Okay.
Here's for pickleball.
I always like when I see a pickleball story, I have to get on, the Facebook or something and immediately send it to Bill Stevens. Oh, well, look at this. Here's a pickleball.
Yes.
Out in Arizona, they're taking an old mall and filling it with pickleball courts.
And it's called, wait for it, Pickle Mall. It's called Pickle Mall. Yeah. Yeah. Did you send me that or did I just, you probably sent me that.
I sent it to you,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's in Tempe, Arizona, which is where Arizona State University was. And I've been down there when I lived in Phoenix. I was there many times. And I keep thinking, was I in that mall? Was I ever in there? And I probably was. I don't know. I'll have to look it up because that's super cool. And it's a good use of space. I mean, there's a lot of empty, big buildings out there, big box buildings, as they call them, and what a great way to put them to use.
They got to start doing something because some of these malls you go into, and at one time they were beautiful malls and they were filled with people. And now you go in and it's like, almost looks like you're walking into a flea market. It's like
ghost town. Yeah.
Most of them are closed. And what is there is like, would I really shop there?
Have you been to any of them? I mean, in Orlando, it's tourists and all that. So I'm imagining the malls up there are still okay. We have one in Gainesville and it's a mall. It's an indoor shopping center, but it's smaller. It's not one of these giant 2-3 floor mega mall things, whatever. And it's, because it's in a college town. So it's like mostly the Forever 21 or whatever those, fashion stores are for the young people. So it does okay. And there's a food court and, all that stuff. So it does okay. And then I was in one in Jacksonville back in Christmas time, the Avenues Mall in Jacksonville, packed and full and seemed to be pretty vibrant. But again, we're here in Florida. where, malls and shopping is still a thing. You go up to, I don't know, Pittsburgh or something, it might be a little different.
Well, when I lived in Winter Haven, we lived real close to a mall. And they said people, I'm talking to Winter Haven here. If you know where Winter Haven is on the map, if you're a Floridian, from Southwest Florida, and people all the way from Sebring used to go to this mall, they said, that was probably about a 45, 50-minute drive, maybe even an hour. And then they said they would come from the north, but now well, of course we don't live there now, but we lived there for about 2 years. That mall was always just dead. And it was one of those malls that, it had stores like a dollar store that wasn't the real dollar store. It was like, Joe Blow wanted to open his own little dollar store.
Dollar store,
basically,
right?
It was a junk store is what it was.
Right.
And, it's like, I'm not going to go in here and buy anything.
Right.
They had a little bit of a food court left, but they had some restaurants in there that at one time were, full sit down restaurants. They were all closed. One of those restaurants was like a VFW hall. It wasn't even a restaurant anymore. Wow. And one wing was a bunch of blow up, those blow up things, not dolls, but the blow up things kids, slide on.
Oh yeah. The bounce houses and stuff like that. Yeah.
One whole wing was just nothing but gutted with, then had bounce houses and, slides and things to crawl on, they were all inflatables. And that, and that was it was dead. They had a bowling alley. That was about the only thing that was always consistently there.
Right.
So I don't know how it is now.
No, and it's not getting any better anytime soon because of the Amazons and the Temus of the world and all of that. And, it's just crazy. I mean, I don't know. And I follow a lot of financial news just because I'm that kind of guy. I don't know why, I'm just that guy. And the thing is, it's not just the malls. It's not just the shopping spaces. It's all of these office buildings as well that, they sent everybody home again because of that, cough that we all had that closed down the world a few years ago. And nobody came back to work. Everybody said, wow, we can work from home. This is awesome. We're not going back to the office. No. And so there are literally skyscrapers in big downtown areas. And we're not just talking like lousy ones. We're talking in many, many, many cities that are empty. And they're, the rent is coming due on all of those things. And it's just going to be insane what happens with that stuff. Anyway, I don't want to get into politics and money, but I just did. So anyway,
I never get into
your work from home job.
Money because I don't have either.
You don't have politics or money?
Yep. I don't have politics or money.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, well, the money might be an issue. There's nothing wrong with not having any politics. I follow it with amusement. How's that? I don't have any dog in the fight. I don't care. I don't think either, it's like, it's stupid for me to say, well, your guy sucks and our guy will fix it. Really? Has anybody fixed anything in the past 50 years? No matter who's in office? No. So to say that your guy is going to fix it when he gets there, I don't see how. I don't.
I think the only thing and now my opinion is the only thing that'll fix it is getting away from the 2-party system and making it a 4, 5, 6-party system and getting more of those parties involved and in office.
And term limits.
Yeah.
Term limits.
But,
I get, you guys that have been there for 20, 30, 40 years, they're all only doing it to line their own pockets. And as soon as and by we, I mean the average American man, woman, black, white, green, purple, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what your gender of choice is. When you realize that they are playing all of us against each other to continue to put money in their pockets, we'll still keep getting what we got. So There you go. That's my rant for the day. And it was quick and quiet. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me turn to news here. This is a big news story out of Germany.
Please do.
A woman has divorced her husband because he kept cleaning the house.
Because he kept cleaning the house.
So she couldn't take it anymore. She left him.
I'm sure there's a lot of ladies out there that are like, and what was his name and phone number?
Because I'm thinking right now, that's the case. My wife will never leave me.
Because you clean the house. Oh, because you don't clean the house.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah.
I'm safe.
All right, fine. You're safe. You don't clean the house. You're safe. Yeah, but she might want the guy who's doing the cleaning part. You never know.
Probably she does. I wouldn't doubt she does.
Probably she does. Yeah, don't make us bring her on the show and ask, because we know what the answer will be. We already know. You're in trouble with that one. So,
but that's
so she
strange.
now. It is strange. That is why would someone? I mean, unless he was like, some people are mental about that sort of thing. It's like everything has its exact spot on the shelf, and if it's off by a quarter of an inch, they have to put it back in its exact spot. But that's a like I said, that's a mental condition.
Yeah, that's like an OCD thing. Yeah.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. That's an OCD thing.
I think everybody has a little bit of OCD in them. Different things, though. My OCD is, and we've discussed this before, and you know about it. Let's say we're going out to lunch together. What am I going to do, Bill? What am I going to do? That is my OCD. That is my OCD problem. I know
you are the only human I know that does this. And it kind of drives me nuts. I still love you, but it kind of drives me nuts that we'll go to the restaurant and BJ Odom will order lunch and he will eat whatever is on the plate. So, okay, he gets a plate and it's got it's got a burger, it's got some fries, it's got some coleslaw. He will eat all of one thing all at the first. So if he starts on the coleslaw, he's going to eat all the coleslaw first. And when it's gone, then he'll move on to the fries or the burger. I don't know. Now here's my question. Is there a process in your mind where I should start with this and then go to this, or is it just random?
It's kind of random, but I would say in most cases, but it varies. I will, usually I will start with whatever is my favorite thing on the plate.
Gotcha.
Or whatever is like, I'm thinking, okay, this is hot and it's not going to taste good warm.
I would think that would be important.
So
yeah, if the burger and fries comes out, yeah.
And probably if the burger and fry comes out, I'm probably going to eat, although the fries would probably be what would go cooler quicker, but I'm still going to go for the burger first, then the fries.
Right. So BJ Odom eats all of one thing at a time. And so I would say salads are for you. Because it's all in one bowl and it's all mixed together and it's all like, you could just eat it then. Because the other way doesn't really make sense to me. I'm sure it makes sense in your mind somewhere, but that's kind of weird.
And always too, like if I'm going, let's say, we go to the same restaurant and we get the same choices each time we go, the order is usually the same every time.
Oh, now there's some new information. So if you've had and I'm just using the example, the burger, fries, coleslaw thing, if you go back to that restaurant, chances are you're going to eat it in the same order.
Yes. Burger, fries, then slaw.
Why? Have
you
ever thought about it? Why do you do that?
No, but I've tried not to.
You have? Really? You've tried?
Oh yeah. I'm like,
and is it like, does it cause so much angst, so much tension that you're like, oh no, I just got to go back.
I'm like Sheldon on the Big Bang Theory.
Right. That was hilarious. But yeah, Sheldon on the he's a prime example of that. I mean, he's a super high functioning adult, but if you sit in his spot on the couch, you're going to hear about it. So yeah, I get that. I do. Okay.
And I'll tell you,
I understand. I've seen it. I don't understand it.
And I'm a king at breakfast. I can tell you every time how the breakfast is going to go.
Based on
eggs will always go first.
Of course. Well, I should.
And then second is the bacon.
Right.
because I'm not going to get sausage. I'm going to get bacon.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to go for the pancakes or the French toast
Okay.
or whatever I have. And then if there
Okay.
is like, if I go to Cracker Barrel and I get a third like hash browns or whatever, then that
Right.
usually goes last.
See, to me that I don't get that.
Neither do
don't
I.
get that.
I just do it, but I don't get it. It doesn't sound like it's not like I sat there with a science book going, okay, now, all right. I look at the
Right.
meal and I go, how am I going to approach this?
Right.
Which one's going
Right.
to go first? But I do
Right.
sometimes have to decide.
Okay.
You know,
All
there's
right.
like
So
a-
there,
there is
so
a
somebody
decision
puts the
made.
plate of right.
Yes. Somebody
So the
brings me
server
something
puts
I'm
the
not
plate
used
of
to
food
eating.
down in front of you. Right. They put the plate of food down in front of you, and you actually have to think about it. You have to think about what I'm going to attack first, second, third.
Lost Thanksgiving, it blows my mind.
Right. You could be stuck in analysis paralysis for an hour while everybody else is enjoying the turkey or enjoying whatever.
You got 10 things on your plate and you're going, what's first?
That's weird. That's weird. We have to get our hypnotherapist buddy Vicky Wagner back on the show and do a little psychoanalysis there to figure out what the heck is going on in your brain. Because not that it's right, not that it makes any more sense, but like for Sheldon on Big Bang Theory, he can give you the exact reason why he's doing something or why he's putting something in order or whatever. You know, it's like we have to arrange the spices because they go from small jar to big jar or something like that, you know. But you don't even know I'm not expecting you to. You don't know the why. That's
I'm not a
funny
clue.
and interesting. I know. And your wife, who has sat across the table from you all these years, she's never asked you about it. She's never wondered about it. She's never like, stop doing that.
No. She's been very supportive of my weird habit.
And that's okay. I know that I don't know. I would assume that everybody has their little quirks and their little weirdnesses, whatever they may be. I'm sure I know I do. I mean, nothing comes to mind at the moment, but if you followed me around for a day, you'd go, why are you doing that thing? And I'm like, and like most people, you'd probably not even recognize it. You've done it so much, so often, you probably don't even stop and think, oh, I'm doing that thing again.
That's like I'll be sitting in a chair or a couch or whatever, and then my one leg will just go up and down, boom, 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 boom. I don't know why. I don't even know I'm doing it half the time.
Restless leg syndrome.
Yeah, I bounce my leg.
Or whatever that's called. When you lay in bed at night, does one leg no? Because I have that sometimes and it drives me nuts.
Of course, maybe I do and I don't know it, but I think my wife would say, you like it. She will say it sometimes when we're sitting on the couch. Would you stop moving your leg? I go, I didn't even know I was moving it.
Oh, interesting. So you have a little physical tick there or something, whatever they call that. I don't know, but that is super interesting. Okay, we're getting into a whole. Who knew the show was going psychological today? Who knew? So
maybe I should go to.
Don't have any answers for you.
Say, Mr. Therapist, why do I eat this way? I doubt they could answer that. Maybe they could.
I doubt they could too, because something gets in there. Here's the question. Do you remember when you were a child or a kid or a teenager or whatever? Have you always done this, or is this, because I mean, I've known you for 20 years or more or whatever.
As long as I can remember,
you know,
yes.
As long as you can remember. Okay.
I remember when I was a small child, because my mother would always say people would always compliment her on this. Like if I had like an ice cream cone or something.
Right.
I mean, I was always making sure none of it was dripping, or I was a very neat, as a little kid, most kids just, I was supposedly very neat when I ate. I didn't like stuff, or ice cream or anything. I didn't like stuff all over.
I got you. Okay.
Now I don't know if I'm that neat of eater or not. But I
don't remember you being not or a good eater, or I don't remember. I wouldn't even know what that would look like. But what I was wondering about is, did you always, like, again, when you were 10 years old and you were at the Thanksgiving dinner table or whatever, it was same thing? You one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing.
Yeah, as long as I can remember. Then I've always had people ask me too, well, if it is Thanksgiving and you have a bunch of food and it's touching, what does that do to you? I said, I don't care if it touches. But I'm still going to eat, it can touch. I don't care.
The one thing.
But I'm still going to eat all the one thing. And if it touches, the stuff over here, now there are times you give me mashed potatoes and you give me corn, it's always going to get mixed.
Oh, mixed together.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't give me corn and then give me mashed potatoes next to it and expect it to, in a couple minutes, it's not all going to be mixed together.
They're all going to get mixed together.
It's going to get mixed and it's going to get all, evenly distributed and all put together. Sure. And then that becomes one thing. Even though it's two.
Of course it does. No, it's one thing. It's one thing now. It was two. Now it's one.
Yes. If there's any psychologist out there, they could send an email or something. Go to our Facebook page or go to, send it to bjandbill@gmail.com.
Right. We have an email address. Right.
Or BJ.
So yeah, that would be
podcast. Either one will get it here.
Either one. So it would be curious to get a little psychoanalysis on that. If that's, it's just like you said. I mean, as we started this conversation, a little bit, that's your OCD thing. That's your obsessive compulsive. I don't know if we'd call it a disorder, but it is definitely obsessive compulsive for you. It's something that you're going to do every time.
Maybe next time that we get together for a little lunch or something, I should try just to see if I can get away with it.
That's you and I had lunch a few weeks ago at the which we'll call
first. I ate it.
Did you? Because now I'm replaying it in my mind and I don't remember. And maybe I'm just used to you doing that, so it didn't seem weird at the time. But you did. You
brought it up first. Though.
I might have. I
ate my fish first, then I ate my French fries, and then I ate because I think it came with coleslaw.
I think it did. I don't remember. See that? Wow. Okay. now you got me thinking about it. Now I'm like on my, I got the headlights turned on now. I'm going to be checking that out next time we have lunch or breakfast. Well, we have a meal together somewhere. Wow.
I got an idea. If anybody wants to study me here, I'd be more than happy to go out to lunch with you and, let you buy lunch and I will eat in front of you and you can study me as much as you want while I eat my food.
Make it a good one. Make it, a good lunch somewhere you like. That's it. That's it. I love that.
Now I will tell you this too. If I have asparagus, like steamed asparagus or any kind of asparagus, I love asparagus, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That will be the first thing I eat on my plate. I'll eat that before the meat, before the salad. I go to that first.
Because you love it. So are you one of those people who will, so obviously you just answered the question, but I'll ask it anyway. If you get something you love on the plate, first or last, so it's like, ooh, I'm saving this for last.
It depends. Yeah, it depends.
Oh, really?
Because sometimes I like, I like a sweet potato, with, the sugar or the cinnamon sugar or whatever.
Butter and brown sugar. Yep, absolutely.
And sometimes I'll even put marshmallows on it. If I get that, that's usually last. It's my favorite, but I look at that as dessert.
Well, if you put marshmallows on anything, it's dessert. But okay, I understand. Okay, all right. So we have some work to do here. We have some psychological sleuthing to do, or something like that. But yeah, so we need a psychiatrist, psychologist, something or other that will be able to help us figure out what the hell is going on in BJ Odom's brain. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't have any answers for you. It just happens.
I don't either.
I don't either. We just like the world that goes around every 24 hours goes around. This stuff just happens. I can't explain it.
and you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out a way to explain it to. So don't bother. Just enjoy life.
Now, maybe if I worked at that cannabis store, then who knows? I might mix them up, and I don't even. Well, man, let me try a bite of this and then a bite of that, man. Look at this. I'm eating different things, man.
And that, my friends, is the callback for today. But yes, if you were to perhaps over imbibe in a little bit of that sort of a thing, yeah, you might. Who knows? Because you would. But the problem is you wouldn't remember. I'd ask you the next day or the next week, BJ, I saw that, you kind of enjoy your cannabis store there. Did it change the way you eat?
I don't know, man. It was really good because I really had the munchies, man. I wanted to eat everything in the store.
I ate a lot of stuff, but I don't remember what was first. I don't remember what I ate. All right. That's funny. That's funny stuff. It really is. Okay. All right, folks, here we are at the end of the hour. We hope you have enjoyed the day as much as we have enjoyed the day. We always have a good time with these shows. It's always fun, and we know that you do too. So appreciate you being with us. Last words?
I'm just waiting for the show notes on this one.
I have no idea what I'm going to type, but I'll figure something out. Absolutely. All right, folks, have yourself a great week. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next week. But until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.